beginning with the women's elite runners, Maria Konovalova of Russia, Keiyoko Fukushi of Japan, Christelle Donnet of France, Benita Willis of Australia, Inga Abatova of Russia, Askela Tefu of Ethiopia, and the two-time defending champion, Lilia Shubakova of Russia. And the men's elite runners, Atsushi Sato of Japan, Benyard Kipyago of Kenya, Marilson dos Santos Gomez of Brazil, the 2008 champion, Evans Chariot of Kenya, Bazo Worku of Ethiopia, Ryan Hall of the United States, and Moses Mosop of Kenya.
Okay, so we have just under 3 minutes until the start of the 34th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. You guys, is this in your mind a two-man race between Moses and Ryan Hall at this point?
Not at all. Not at all. I think the fact that I think if Moses was at 100%, I think maybe it would be a one-man race. But the fact that he's a little bit nicked up, he ran a 30K world record on the track back in June, and as a result of that, he was injured for about 2 months. So he missed a lot of training. But his confidence is so high that he believes that he can still come back and run for a course record. Well, he's only run one marathon before, so he's never experienced the ugly side of the marathon. We'll see if that happens today.
Okay, Tony Revis on our moto cam with his 3 to watch for. Hi, Tony.
Well, hi, Paula. How are you?
Great, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. It's a rough walk from the finish line to the start line, Joni and I can tell you for sure. But it's already been a fast day in the world of marathoning this October 9th in Eindhoven over in Europe today. Kenyan Jared Kipchumba just ran 2:05:39, and our 2008 Chicago champion, Evans Chariot's training partner, just won the Carpi Marathon this morning in Italy. So lots of action in the marathon world. I think we might top it all in Chicago this morning. But right now, with the look at some of the women candidates, let's go up to my partner, Joni Samuelson. Morning, Joan.
Good morning, Tony. This is going to be a great race, but I think it has Lilia's name all over it as she attempts a third win here at the Bank of America Chicago Marathon and a sub-220 effort. It would be her first time running a sub-220, and that's high on her list. But I think the fact is that she's going for that third win here, which is unprecedented.
You know, Joan, there's only been 12 back-to-back champions in the history of the Chicago Marathon. And the last one to really come close was Catherine Dereba back in 2002. She won her first 2 races in 2000, 2001, and then finished in second. How tough would it be to pull off the three-peat?
Well, I think Lilia's thinking about a lot of things, including the World Majors Championship prize money. She is committed to this race. She has cut her racing schedule way back. This is very important to her, and I think she's sitting in a very good position to become the first 3-time women's winner here in Chicago.
Joan and Tony, we look forward to your updates. You're going to be keeping tab on the elites today. And you guys, as Joan just mentioned, a lot of money on the table potentially for Lilia, over $500,000. But here's the start of the 34th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon.
Running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon is underway. Good luck to all of our runners.
45,000 runners.
Coming down Columbus Drive, and they keep coming, they keep coming, they keep coming.
And when you've been preparing for this for the last 6 months and that gun finally goes off, there's such a release inside. You're just off and on your way. And you know for the next 2, 3, 4 hours, you're going to be out having some fun with 45,000 of your closest friends.
When does the adrenaline rush wear off, Ed?
Well, hopefully it kind of maintains the entire time. For a lot of people, it wears off at 20 miles specifically. But you know, as an elite runner, it's kind of a controlled intensity that you have, and we see Ryan Hall running right there with the lead pack. We've got some pace setters up there wearing the P41 and P42. They're out setting a blistering pace. That's Edward Muge in the green and Jonathan Mayo in the orange. And they're out front. They want to go through half marathon at 1 hour, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which would put them on 2 hours, 5 minutes and 20 seconds, which is a pretty ambitious pace. It would be a course record pace on a kind of warm day. But
one of the things that's become sort of a cliche because it's been said so many times, but exactly what does it mean when you say, I want to run my race? I want to run my race the way I see it.
Well, running your race means you don't get caught up in other people's plans. And early on in the race, it's very easy to be influenced negatively by someone else going out really too fast. And so you want to run the pace that you are capable of running. These elites have it broken down within, you know, a minute between the first half and second half of what they want to run. And so the problem that some people get into, especially the newbies, is they will go out too fast and really suffer over the second half of the marathon.
So it's kind of hard to temper that adrenaline. You almost have to bottle it up in the beginning and pace yourself.
You totally do. I always say it's patience followed by destruction rather than impatience followed by self-destruction. So you want to just be careful early on and then destroy people over the last half rather than being destroyed.
Or in other words, a 20-mile stroll and then a 6.2-mile race. That's when it all begins.
If you can do it that way, that's a great way to do. Just try to get in behind the rabbits, run as easily as possible for the first 20 miles, and then race the last 10K.
Now, Ed, you're a two-time Olympian. What's your personal best?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
All right. Okay, and we're going to check in with Tony Revis. Hi, Tony. Where are the elite men at this point in the race?
Well, guys, they just passed the 1 mile mark in 4:55. And, of course, as we expect, the pack is all very well put together behind our pacers, but the crowds are just enormous. And on a day like this, which might not be the best for running world record times, it's an ideal day for the city of Chicago to come on and cheer on these 40,000 plus marathoners, including this very fast lead pack. You know, nothing expected in these first early miles through downtown until, you know, the miles go by. But 4:55 is a fairly cautious beginning here in the first mile for the 2011 Bank of America Chicago Marathon.
Tony, are you surprised that they're not running closer to that 4:47 pace, which they would have to do to come through at 1:02:40? Are you surprised?
Yeah.
What do you think has led to that?
Well, you know, Ed, we can talk all we want about, you know, they want to run a certain pace, but you start to wake up on the day and you go outside and you start to run and you know what the conditions are. In 2008 and 2010, we had very similar conditions. Both winning times were exactly the same, 2:06:25. They went out in 4:48 in 2010. They went out in 4:50 in 2008. Today, it's a couple of degrees warmer than they went out in 4:55. But, you know, they can make that up as time goes on. Who knows? It could turn into a race like last year, not a time trial.
Okay, Joan Benoit Samuelson. Joan, you are following the elite women. Can you tell us where they are?
Well, unlike the men, the women aren't running very conservatively. Lilia and Edigayu Dababa, Askale Tafa, and Belonesh Gebra are right in a tight cluster, and they're not far from the elite men who are starting to string out a little bit. I think the only one who really knows what she's doing right now is Lilia, and I think all the runners are keying off her, and I don't think many of them are experienced enough to be running at this pace so early, especially Dababa. She's fast, and you can see that right now, but she does not have the experience that Lilia has. Now, interestingly enough, Maria Konovalova is not in this pack right now. She also has posted a 2:21, which is a very fast time. So I think what we're going to see is Maria catching up to the elite women's pack as they begin to drop off. And I think that's going to happen sooner than later.
Thanks, Joan. And we are about 7 minutes and 36 seconds into the 34th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Make sure you watch our streaming feed on NBCChicago.com until 1 o'clock. We're live here with the broadcast from 7 to 11 this morning. We're right back after this quick break.
Good morning, I'm Mike Lorber in Sky 5 reporting with the Sky 5 crew, and from an aerial perspective, this is a virtual tour of what 45,000 runners look like rolling down Michigan Avenue. They fill it up all the way from Balboa in the south up to Grand Avenue, where they make the tour and trek throughout the 29 Chicago neighborhoods that they'll be running through this morning. Now, we had the wheelchair race that started at about 7:20, the elite runners at 7:30, and that north side, south side challenge, those are the 250 high school runners. They will start at 7:40 this morning, make their way from 31st in Michigan all the way up to Grant Park. This race goes as far north as Wrigley, up to Addison, all the way down to Bronzeville on 35th Street, and as far as west as Damon Avenue on the United Center. We've talked a lot about the elite runners, and justifiably so. But you have over 10,000 charity runners in this event, and that is a $170 million boom for the Chicago economy. And I'll tell you, other than Chicago Sports Championships, there is really nothing more spectacular for us to cover in Sky 5 than this mass of humanity making their way out of Grant Park. You can see it up there filling Columbus Drive. They'll be moving west eventually, all the way out through Grand Avenue, make their way through the west side before they make their way trekking up north. Keep in mind, you can follow us all morning, no matter where your morning takes us, NBC 5 nonstop or NBCChicago.com. We will be streaming live through you all the way throughout the duration of the race, showing you these fantastic pictures from Sky 5. Reporting live over Grant Park, I'm Mike Lorber with the Sky 5 crew, and stay tuned. We'll be with you throughout the morning.
And welcome back to today's Chicago Marathon. You know, 10,000 charity runners are running today. 106 countries are represented, and it's a very prideful day for the Bank of America, the sponsor for today's race. Rob standing by with Bank President Tim Maloney. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Paula. Yes, Tim Maloney joins me now, and they're still running behind us, and the excitement is palpable. It's a great experience.
They'll be going by us for a while. This is absolutely spectacular. Terrific.
Tim, Paula was just saying 10,000 runners raising money for charities, millions of dollars, and some relay teams this year that we haven't seen in the past.
That's exactly right. This year we have 10,000 runners who, for their own passionate reasons, are running for a charity of their choice. Local charities literally around the world. We estimate they'll raise about $12 million this year. An added new wrinkle that we put into the race this year is our own charity relay.